Well, we've all seen it. We're cruising along, no big deal, watching our favorite musicians until BAM! We're hit right in the face with a shocking, horrific moment where they completely destroy their career. Many times, these moments are on live television where, no, they can't just yell cut and take it back to right before the life-altering behavior. Such a shame. Today, we're going to be talking about the most jaw-dropping times where musicians completely destroyed their careers on stage. Before we dive in and discuss, go ahead and click subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you'll never miss out on our future videos. And give this video a thumbs up if your favorite artist made a major boo-boo on stage. Here we go!
Alright, here's the deal. One more bottle, we go home.
Artists are supposed to love on their fans, not land on them. What am I talking about? The mega awkward moment when smooth R&B vocalist Miguel attempted a hurdle over some of his fans and ended up landing on them at the 2013 Billboard Music Awards. It was, of course, caught on camera, and Miguel ended up injuring 2 fans in the process. One filed a lawsuit that never materialized, but the other filed a lawsuit that did indeed stick in 2015. He and the fans somewhat became friends, actually, but he couldn't really ever live that failed crowd surfing moment down.
When you're performing and you're just kind of into it, you never really know how it's gonna go and where you're gonna go with it.
Mistakes happen, but this was a costly one for Miguel. Friends, let's talk about Eric Clapton. Wow. The rock star was well known for bringing the blues to Britain, and if you know the origin of the blues, you know that makes Clapton's behavior even worse. On stage at a concert in 1976, Eric Clapton went on a vapid and bigoted rant about various racial groups, including pointing out stereotypes, telling foreigners they should leave Britain, and using hateful slurs. He even used the phrase "keep Britain white" while encouraging people to vote for a far-right candidate. This naturally ignited a fire across his fan base and makes us shudder just talking about it. Extremely not okay, Eric Clapton. Well, how can we forget Robin Thicke's descent into chaos and controversy? It all started with the hit song Blurred Lines, which was famous for more than one reason. The lyrics were considered majorly cringeworthy, since the phrase "I know you want it" and the use of blurred lines suggested that it isn't necessary to obtain consent, and that the misogynistic lyrics were perpetuating dangerous stereotypes. Well, it all spiraled completely downwards when Thicke performed the song live at the VMAs with Miley Cyrus grinding on him and completely hypersexualizing the song, a performance which people across the board absolutely despised. There was nothing empowering about the performance, and it essentially destroyed Thicke's career within just a few minutes. His wife, Paula Patton, even left him a little while afterwards. Extreme yikes all around. Friends, do you remember watching this performance, and were you horrified like we were? Definitely let us know in the comments. Okay, do you guys remember that halftime show with Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson? Well, again, a mistake can be very costly to a musician's career, and this was definitely one of those cases. While performing their halftime show performance, Timberlake was supposed to rip off the front part of Jackson's outfit, exposing her red lacy bra to audiences. But there was a mishap, and it ended up exposing her breasts to millions of viewers. The cameras quickly shifted from the scene, but not before people had already seen it. The FCC prompted a $550,000 fine for the exposure, banned MTV from producing Super Bowl halftime shows anymore, and it led to all sorts of destruction for Janet Jackson. It's sad to think that a costume mishap that wasn't her fault is what led to the prolific performer's downfall, but unfortunately that is what happened in this case. We love to see a good comeback from a good artist, but sometimes it takes a complete cancellation before the artist can indeed bounce back. This is what happened to the Chicks, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks. While on stage at a show in the UK, the lead singer of the Chicks criticized the war on terror, saying that President Bush was from their home state of Texas, but that they did not agree with his policies or the fact that he declared war. Well, this did not go over very well in the US.
We're shaming the President of the United States.
People called them anti-American and unpatriotic, prompting many fans to burn their records, stomp on their CDs, and even form rallies in protest of the group, chanting that the Chicks do not support American troops. Well, they seem to be making a comeback now and have stuck to their beliefs. This year, they changed their name from the Dixie Chicks to the Chicks due to the war Dixie's racist history in the US. We'll have to see how their comeback fares, but they seem to be doing pretty well. Jessica Simpson's baby sister Ashley Simpson had a brief stint as a famous artist, but the singer's career crashed and burned at one particular live show. The artist had previously been found to have lip-synced her performances, which is already a big no-no when it comes to artists performing live. So what came next definitely didn't help. While performing on SNL, the artist's band apparently began playing the wrong song, and she didn't know what to do. So in her words, she started to do a hoedown, which was basically the equivalent of awkwardly dancing along to the music but not doing any singing. The press went in on her for her botched performance, and she ended up not being really able to bounce back from that situation.
On a Monday, I am waiting. Tuesday, I am fading.
Live shows are meant to hype up the audience member who paid money to come see their favorite artist perform. Well, Guns N' Roses have definitely had longevity in their career, but they're extremely inconsistent when it comes to live shows, which has definitely caused cracks in their fan base over the years. In one show, Slash was so obviously drunk or high that he could barely play his opening riff, and the group in general is known to say some pretty out there things, presumably off script, in the middle of their shows. But in 2010, they were literally booed off stage in Dublin during a live concert in which they weren't even trying to bring up the energy of the audience members. In fact, they even said, if you don't want to have fun, all you gotta do is let us know.
If you don't want to have fun, all you got to do is let us know, and we got no problem.
Wait, what? That's definitely not the way the crowd wanted to be addressed, which led to a whole lot of booing. Friends, Lindsay Lohan stated to the press that it had been her lifelong dream to record her own album, and in 2004, she indeed did it. It's always a risk for actors to move into the music world or vice versa, but many have been able to do it successfully. However, the actor's singing career didn't take off quite in the way she had hoped, which led to a number of issues. Her single off the album, Rumors, was a hit or miss among fans. During her performance of the track on Good Morning America, fans and the press were quick to notice that Lohan was lip-syncing to the song. It caused controversy to the point where her label had to put out a release assuring everyone that although there was indeed a backing track, which is pretty standard for most live performances, Lohan was definitely singing along to the track. This didn't do much to sway listeners, however, and it provided a bit of a rut in the road of Lohan's music career, which never really recovered. Well, it's always a shocker when something happens on stage that either didn't go according to plan or was just plain offensive. Clearly, though, it has happened throughout history and will most definitely continue to happen with the rise and fall of various musical artists' careers. Friends, what do you think about the musicians we mentioned and how they destroyed their careers? And do you know of some other examples of artists whose live performances did them a complete disservice? Leave us a comment below. As usual, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell as we bring you more juicy info, gossip, and speculation about the shows and stars you know and love. Until next time!